bat, week 9. This is the last week that you've seen an unfamiliar foe, you know? Going into the next weeks or so, y'all seen them guys before. Y'all have battled. So it's a part 2. And real quick before we get into the predictions, I want to give a shout out to Chris and Moore. Not really a shout out. That sounds BM, but it's like acknowledge they lost their guys from what it looks like for the season, and that's tough. You draft these guys, you build a vision around these guys, and it's tough to see them go down because you're enjoying them as a player. It's tough for that player, and then as a fantasy manager, it's like, damn, you ain't get no get backs with that. But let's get straight into the matchups. Mar, Sassoon. Big one for me and what? We need Sassoon to lose here, and Mar has a team to do it. Secretly. It might not look like it, but secretly, he has a team to do it. Getting off the bat, Keenan had a bounce back game. I think his best game, and it was still under 20. If that is his ceiling so far, that's not what Mar would have wanted when he drafted him, but you gotta keep it rolling. Herbert has been off and on. He's either hot or he's hurting your team. That's the truth of the matter so far. Dalvin has not been that guy that y'all cried about last season. I'm still salty about that. Nevertheless, Josh Jacobs, I think is a solid. I think he's one of the more how do I put this? Just guys that are going under the radar, which he still carries great value. The Raiders are gonna run the ball. I think he's a good trade for a target personally. I'll be in Mars DM asking, testing the waters a little bit. And then going into his other players, Sanders had a donut last week. I don't know if that's concerning. The Bills, I forgot who they even went up against, but they score when they want to. They could pick and choose. But, if I were to rate my concern level between 1 and 10 for Emmanuel Sanders, it would be a 3, 4. Not too high. Higbee, you got to find somebody else. Somebody that has a touchdown upside. I know he kind of does, but with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Henderson, there's too many guys that could score. I think you're better off starting somebody else. That's just me personally. Julio going against the Rams, who knows? If Ramsey's on him, it's a lockdown, but he really doesn't have another option. And then Khalil Herbert, still pounding the ball, still going to do his thing against Pittsburgh D. It could be done. I like the matchup. Dolphins D, I like it. Tyrod's back. Maybe he'll be a little shaky. Who knows? But that's all he has on this side. He's not going to start Mark Ingram. He's not. AJ has COVID. Tony Pollard, nah. Darnell Mooney, nah. But Sassoon, we're going. Matt Stafford. I heard something about is it a hand injury or is that? No, that's Herbert. I don't know what it was. Sore back. He always has a sore back. Just ask Seneca. He's going to be fine. He'll play. Aaron Jones, I'm prepared for a big game. No Aaron Rodgers means that it's going to be safe throws, game management, and Aaron Jones will be the recipient of a lot of those fantasy points that are going to be left on the field by what's his name? What's your quarterback name, Zay? Jordan Love. Yeah, your future. But James Robinson, he's a little banged up against a tough Buffalo D. Who knows? Robert Woods, who knows? He's an enigma. He's a question mark. Marquise Brown, same thing. Sassoon has a talented team. Don't get me wrong. Very talented team. But it's you've already shown, his guys have already shown that they could completely disappear. Their floors are, the only one with a safe floor, in my opinion, is Robinson and Cordell Patterson. But all these guys could disappear, and that's what scares me. Stafford getting the start over Kyler Murray, who's also banged up. I understand Stafford has been electric. He has been great. Hunter Renfro, safe floor. I like that guy. And now with, you know what, I'm not even going to touch that subject. Never mind. We've been seeing it, reading it. We don't need to go into that. But Saints D against ATL, love it. Tyler Bass, kicker. ESPN has this at 50%. And I'm not trying to be a hater when I say that Mark could get this one. And he needs this one to have playoff contention. He needs it. I'm looking at the matchups. Cordell against the Saints. Then he has Saints D. But I think Aaron Jones is going to kill. Dalvin Cook could have a bounce back. I'm going to give it to Mar, man. Upset of the week. Upset of the week. Mar, Josh Jacobs coming back. I like it. I don't know why Johnny thought Kenyon Drake was going to be a factor, but that's not, I'll get to him. But yeah, I like Mar here. Going out on a limb. Khalil Herbert against Pittsburgh D. They got established to run in that Monday night game. I like it. Maybe we'll have a little D-Ernest magic. And then Wood could talk to me about how David Mine is going to lose his carries, blah, 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 you know, whatever. But I'm going to go with Mar. I like that. Going into the next one, Nitin versus Wood. Sort of a big matchup here. With Chris losing Derrick Henry, obviously the power rankings have been shifted, but I don't think Chris' team has exited the top 5. But I would put these two teams ahead of him now. Madov, again, story of his season. The fearsome, foursome, whatever you want to call it, this elite status of guys right here. Josh Allen, Ezekiel Elliott, Najee Harris, Cooper Kupp. They need 100. One needs 100 from these guys. And then hopefully he could get 50 from the rest. And that would be a great week. He has Brandon Ayuk there. I don't believe it. Maybe I do believe it. Damn. I mean, Kadarius, that was an interesting trade that I think he lost. Kadarius, I mentioned to Wood, and I told him this. Kadarius and Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk merged when Kittle was out, Deebo Samuel was out, all these guys were out. He was the only guy to throw to. He emerged. He did his thing. Props to him. Next year, all those guys come back, and even Kittle exited, and he's been nobody, nowhere. And then Kadarius Toney shows himself for 2 weeks. At least Brandon Ayuk did it for a season. Kadarius Toney showed his wings for like 2 weeks. And now Saquon is set to come back. Sterling's back. Galladay's back. Evan Ingram's going to be back. And now it's like, and you traded T. Higgins, who is a solid piece for yet another rookie. I thought it was interesting. I thought he takes a slight L on that trade, but nevertheless, the matchups, Josh Allen, Jacksonville, love. Ezekiel against Denver, not so love, but with Von Miller, he's a pass rusher, really. He could stop the run. I still like Elliott here. Najee Harris against Chicago is going to be a little tough, but they use him. I mean, he is the offense. Big Ben is washed. It all depends on how he does. Cooper Kupp, 30. I don't know. But I mean, more than 20 probably. He can't be stopped. I said a while ago that I think that he needs to be considered a top 10 wide receiver for sure. And you could convince me to put him top 5. When Thielen was killing like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, why can't we get, like, he's putting the numbers up. And obviously, when you look at all the elite receivers and you see the Devontaes, the AJ Browns, the Jamar Chases, but they're just physical guys that are just ridiculous. And Cooper Kupp is not that guy, but he drops 170 on your team. It's crazy, but he's got to get some props. And then the rest of it, I mean, what the hell? I mean, you could say that none of these players would be started on anybody's team. Anybody's. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, I get he's coming back from an ankle injury. He's not doing it, but that Denver offense is terrible. I mean, Cortland Sutton, I pray for you. But I don't think any of these players play on anybody, even the down bad ones. Like, no disrespect to Zay, Seneca. I mean, I don't even care about the matchup. These are just players that I just don't believe in. Rashad Bateman has some upside. Brandon Ayuk hasn't shown you anything. Albert O. Patriots D against Carol. I mean, whatever. And then you got Nitten's team. I mean, if Wood gets a break here, then it's like, all right. But I mean, he has great matchups. Jalen Hurts continues to do his. I mean, JT against the Jets. You saw what Mixon did. Henderson against Tennessee. Love that. Hill with no corners. Adam, I mean, come on. It's this is from a prediction standpoint, no hater shit. It's Nitten. I'm going with Nitten. I'm sticking with him. Brandon Cooks, Miami, Bills D against Jacksonville, like everything. He's missing Swift. What gets a little bit of a break there, but on the other side, he's gonna miss Hawkinson. Albert O's in there for him. I like Nitten here. Just the matchups with the talent, it's gonna overwhelm him, but I'm not surprised. I mean, again, 100. I'm gonna go back, and he needs 100 from these four. Let's see if he gets it. Going into Zay, Wiggy. Another. I'm gonna call this my almost upset of the week, and it's purely dependent on Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, I mean, depending on how he comes out, how he does, if he comes out, we'll see. But Mahomes takes a little bit of a hit due to Aaron Rodgers being out. If Aaron Rodgers was out, you got to score to keep up with each other. But now when Jordan Love, I don't know if that offense is going to be as elite. He could take it easy. I expect if the Chiefs don't win this game without Aaron Rodgers, you can't blow it up because they have too much talent on offense to blow it up. But that defense needs to be revamped. DC got to be fired. Something's got to happen. But anyways, matchup is now mediocre. Michael Carter, where did he come from? Start your running backs against the Bengals. They pop off. They go for 30. But the Colts have a good, solid linebacker core. So I expect Michael Carter to, regress to the mean. I still think he's a solid play. I think he's a good play. I think he's a 12 to 17 point guy. Mike White likes to throw to him. Let's see if they keep that same sort of game plan. But CDT Higgins, two solid guys with some good matchups. Gesicki. I was talking to Zay earlier, and I said I thought he has two top 6, 7 tight ends in fantasy with Kittle and Gesicki. He could definitely be on the be in the market looking to shop one of those. So if you need a tight end, I'd hit my guy Zay up, get an offer for one of those two guys, see which one he rather give up, because he needs somebody. I mean, because this guy, his bust right here is not happy right now. And I don't know if they trade him. It's murky right now, but we'll see. But I'm sure he, if this wasn't against Houston, he wouldn't be playing Gaskin right now. And Cole Beasley is it's ugly. So I'm sure he would appreciate a little piece, little something. But I mean, with McCaffrey, his projected goes up to the 140s. And he could surprise Chris, who for the first week will be without King Henry. Speaking of which, you need to change your name. No disrespect. But Lamar back in his Starting lineup: Lamar and Mark Andrews, solid stack. Chase Edmonds now takes the running back one spot. And it looks like James Conner gets the touchdowns over there, but Chase Edmonds is more than capable. It's not, I mean, from where he was, it's now atrocious. But I mean, I understand he's down. He got hurt, took a big hit. So Chase Edmonds against 49ers, okay. Damian Harris, Carolina. They have a good run defense. I expect a quiet day from him. Deebo Samuel, he needs to keep it up. If he's Deebo Samuel, and I'm not wishing this on this guy, but the reason I didn't pick him, because I thought he was a good pick. I thought he always had talent. He just always gets hurt. He never plays a full season. And so far, he's been on surviving. He's been on the field. So I can't get mad at it. I'm just worried about that guy. I don't know if I would look to trade him, but hey, Mike Williams, he's been silento, lately. But man, Justin Jefferson had a quiet day. Everyone has an off day. I don't expect that to happen again. And then DJ Moore got to pick it up. What has been his? I have no idea. I just know he hasn't been doing good. Yeah, I mean, compared to what he has been doing, it's not there. It's not what Wiggy wants. And Colts D against the Jets. Let's see. The Jets tore up. I'm not talking about that. Don't disrespect me. I think Wiggy takes it, but it's closer than he anticipates. Zay's team is not a bad team with McCaffrey. He didn't draft well, but I mean, and Patrick Mahomes has to pick it up for him. I mean, that has been weird to see, but I think Chris gets it, but it's surprisingly close. And then moving on, I think this is an absolute win against Johnny for Seneca. Johnny is holding that third spot. I don't think Chris gives it up in the matter of time that we have. I think we have 4, including this game, we have 4 games left. And that's not enough to unseat Chris. I mean, Chris could lose out, but I don't see that happening. And I haven't even looked at his schedule. But I mean, and on top of that, Seneca has been just taking some hits too. Dak is on the fence, but he gets Darren Waller back. But I mean, Calvin Ridley with the personal, I mean, that he should have won in the shout out, honestly, too. It looks like he lost him for the year. So, I mean, that sucks. And he's not even injured. So it's like, and a PSA. I mean, what do you guys think? As an LM, I've been thinking about this. This is a sidebar. As an LM, I'm like, okay, I put in those IR spots. We put in those IR spots for injured players. And I guess COVID too. COVID counts because we didn't, so and so, whatever. I have a hard time with what did, and he did not break a rule. He didn't know, and it was fair game, fine. It's not like he was really going to get a penalty or whatever. But if you're putting Deshaun Watson in there, I think that's unfair. Like now he has no reason to because of trade deadlines then. But if you put a completely healthy player that's just having a contract dispute and you're just holding them and you put them in your IR, I think that's unfair, right? But with something like this, which we've never really seen happen, where a guy is healthy, but he's taking a sabbatical because of mental health reasons, I don't know. Can you put him in IR? Like, Calvin Ridley is a great player, but he's not hurt. I just don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, could you argue like, yo, COVID, you're actually sick, but you might not have symptoms, but he's on the COVID list, so he has to sit out. And then Calvin Ridley, he's mentally, I mean, I don't know. It's a slippery slope. If I were to have soul, and I know I am LM, so I guess I do have the power to make this decision, I would say Calvin Ridley can't go on IR. He's not hurt. IR is for hurt players and COVID. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. But I digress. Moving on. Matchup. Dak, Denver. Solid. Alvin Kamara has to keep it going. What did he do against me? He actually had a can't see. Yeah, I don't see his value dropping either. Yeah, 16 light day against the best run defense in the league. 17. That's got to go up against the worst run defense in the league, which is ATL. I'm pretty sure. Starting Singletary is poverty. Lord have mercy. But Fournette out, he has to. Coop has to keep it going. He has to be the guy. He needs to go back to his week one. I know he's not going to, but he has to show something. Kenny Golladay, I don't hate it. But he could disappear. Darren Waller has to get back on his horse. Devontae Smith is but you can't start Robbie Anderson. Van Jefferson, I understand. He's down bad. Bye weeks got him down bad. Raiders D against the Giants. Yeah. It's looking bleak. It's looking real dark for you. Carson. Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. There's no. I would actually start Mike White over Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was shot. I just saw a clip, and I'm on Twitter of Carson Wentz playing the game of football last week, and it was terrible. I actually think some of us could have done better. It is bad. It was bad. But moving on, Joe Mixon, Cleveland, solid. Total question mark against a tough matchup. Who knows what that usage is going to be like? If old man AP gets the ball, who knows? I mean, that's I can't predict it. I think he'll be a steady. I think he receives the bulk. If I were to have one or the other, I would have McNichols. But I've never watched him ever play in my life, and that's because the greatest running back probably of our generation is above him in the depth chart. So we'll see. Jamar, it's nice to know Johnny's a Bengals fan, against Cleveland. Shit, we better prove ourselves after losing to the Jets, goddamn. I mean, Jamar, come on, baby. Michael Pittman, emergence. Love to see it. USC boy against the Jets. I like it. Big game. Kyle Pitts, only offensive player that I would want on the Falcons right now, getting the start. He'll be. That's probably for COVID. He'll be knocked off. But let's see what Jordan Love does. Again, I mean, if I'm looking at the matchup, I would instantly, my brain tells me Johnny. But again, Carson Wentz, but it's against the Jets. McNichols, who's a total question mark. Devontae Adams now takes a hit because it's Jordan Love now. Jalen Waddle against Houston, I like. Chiefs D against Green. I mean, you're starting Chiefs D now. He had Packers. That dude switches up more and then gets mad at me. Love that. Corey Davis not going to play. Gronk out. Aaron Rodgers out. McLaurin on bye. These two guys that he said were going to be good for him are now on his bench. I'm not going to call it upset. I can't with Devin Singh. I can't do it. Just too many guys I don't believe in on Seneca's team. Wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to go Johnny here. And then going into my matchup with Nate, sort of should I say, I don't want to use the word brutal, but it's a bad bye week for me. I'm still good. Saquon ankle plus COVID, maybe. I mean, they retested him and he's okay. I don't know, man. This season is a joke. It's funny as hell, but I'm missing Tom Brady and Godwin. Definitely a hit to my team. But I'm starting Tua against Houston. Not bad. But, I mean, I got to start Mike Davis. Running backs are still a problem for me. Lamont is still hurt. Saquon, still a question mark. Going into my receivers, Marvin Jones, total question mark. Who knows? Cortland Sutton, talented player, total question mark on an offense that is unpredictable. Travis Kelce, I don't know. I mean, you have all these guys with talent. Like, I have the guys with talent that are just like their teams are just not good or too good to the point where they have so many weapons they could just go with. Like Travis Kelce on offense, Chiefs. Chiefs. I don't know. I just don't know. And Cortland Sutton, their offense is terrible, but he's the best offensive player they have. That's fair to say. And then Diggs, so many weapons. Their team is great. They could go wherever they want. Deontay Johnson is the best offensive. You could. I'm gonna say I don't think it's fair to say Najee's better, but I think he's the best offensive player they have as well on a team that's Marvin Jones, probably the same. I mean, him and Robinson. I mean, it's really and the Cowboys D. I'm starting them against Denver because I just don't like what I see from Denver. Mike Davis, goddamn it, Randy Bullock against the Rams. I might have to change that up, but there's nowhere else I could go. I could probably maybe Rondell Moore with AJ Green getting COVID. Maybe put him in. I haven't made that decision. Buffalo defense is a tough defense. You know, who knows? Matt Ryan against the Saints, tough, but Russ isn't back. I understand. Nick Chubb against Cincinnati, probably going to kill. Again, start your running backs against the damn Bengals. Eckler, he's been cooking, probably will continue to cook. This will be a fun one, though. A.J. Brown against Ramsey. I think he gets the Ramsey nod. I think he gets that matchup, and who knows? But A.J. Brown has been clicking with Tannehill finally. I've been trying to get A.J. Brown for a while. It didn't work, but hey. Claypool on Monday night, we'll see. I feel like he's just going to kill me. And then Uzomah, I'm going to cheer for that guy. Understand? Shout out to Nate, starting the Bengal. Zach Moss against Jacksonville. It could get ugly real quick, and then they run the ball. Use the running back. I understand. Elijah Mitchell has been absolutely killing on the run game. I mean, he is. I mean, 18 carries. Like, that's not too many carries. Usually, to see this, Derrick Henry gets like 20 upwards of 25. He's doing it on 18. He's a very good player. Very good player. And against Arizona, you know, who knows? But Falcons defense against the Saints, but the Saints have no quarterback now, so it's like, I don't know. But the Falcons defense is not good. So, but if you look at the waiver wire for defenses, it's just ugly. All in all, it's gonna be close. But I think Nate has the more talented roster, and they will get the win here. I like Elijah Mitchell's floor, Eckler, Brown, Chubb. I mean, it could happen. I see him getting the win. Mike Davis is probably gonna laugh at me. Probably gonna get me. I've had a record of getting less than 2 from at least one running back. Sometimes both. So we'll see. Mike Davis. If Mike Davis gets me 8 points, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll take it. Right. But who really knows? But yeah, that's it. Week 9, last week of the regular, you know, the head-to-head matchups where you haven't seen somebody yet. Playoff implications are there. So a lot of people need a lot of other people to lose, you know. Me and Wud cheering for the Sassoon to lose. And at the same time, me and Sassoon are cheering for Wud to lose. And then Wud and Sassoon are cheering for me to lose. And then Nitin and Wiggy, you know, those two are just people are trying to keep away from those pancakes, you know, trying to get that third slot. So crazy season. But wish you all the best. Not really though. And yeah, this has been Quick Predictions. Love.